Hello, you're watching TVP World Talks. I'm Jonasz Rewiński. A predominantly Polish team is set to compete in what many call the most challenging ocean race in the world. The Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race, a 628 nautical mile offshore race from Sydney to Hobart, is set to begin on the 26th of December, on Boxing Day, and in 2025 it's the 80th edition. And it will feature the Ocean Challenge Yacht Club, based in the Polish city of Gdynia, lining up under skipper Przemysław Tarnacki, world sailing champion at super-yachts, who is joining us here today on TVP World to talk about this event. Hello and welcome.
Hello, welcome from Sydney, from Central Port, where we are going to start for the race tomorrow.
So, a very exciting moment there, I'm quite sure. Can you tell us briefly what this race is really about? What makes it so special? What made it earn, the moniker of being the most difficult, the most challenging event of its kind the world over?
It is generally called the Mount Everest of international sailing. And it must be true, not only because when we will hopefully reach the finish in Hobart in Tasmania, there will be the same amount of Polish sailors completed it, like Polish alpinists that succeed with Mount Everest climbing. But basically, the biggest challenge is the weather between Australia and Tasmania in the well-known Bass Strait, where the oceans meet and the temperatures meet and a lot of sea currents meet and just clashes together in one small area. And this is what is frightening the most.
And you're talking from experience, because this is not the first time that you're actually facing this challenge, right?
Yes, right. We have completed the race successfully in 2017. On board our first team of the Ocean Challenge Yacht Club on an 80-feet boat. At that time, we have covered the 628 miles distance within 3.5 days. We are looking for the same this year, even though having a faster and more performance boat, the weather forecast is not that easy.
So now, can you explain, again in layman's terms, when it comes to how this really works, striving for victory? Because it is said that there is really two winners in this race, not one, because there are essentially two distinct categories. Can you explain both of these?
Honestly, I think everyone who reaches the finish in Hobart in Tasmania is a winner of this race. And we have to remember that not all of the teams are reaching the final finish. Like last year, it was a retention. It was the rate that didn't reach the finish about 35% because of the weather. So first of all, in order to have a good place on the finish line, you have to finish the race. And our aim here is just to finish the race, and then we will see how we will end up, especially in such a weather circumstances that we will be heading. But as you said, there are two winners main winners of this race, which is the line owners. That means the boat who first reaches the start, the finish is the winner, and also the famous Tatterall's Cup. So there are different boats on the starting line, and to combine them, you have to make some calculations between different boats, and this is for the one who is best calculated.
Overall, this really is a race of endurance. It's not just about speed, it's about the ability to calculate various different factors. So would you say it's more like the Le Mans 24-hour race than Formula One in this regard?
Yes, exactly. Or like a marathon, or even Ironman comparing to 100-meter sprint. So there are a lot of factors you have to put on the table, starting from seasickness that we will for sure face with this weather forecast, with team fatigue, with navigation, tactics, speed of the boat. So we will be working constantly on the speed of the boat, the boat state, the sea states, other competitors on the starting line, and also teamwork, and crisis management within the team. So for me as a leader, is really stressful 3 days ahead.
So, can you tell us perhaps what was the most outstanding moment during your previous attempt when it comes to what you said, like, crisis management?
Of course, when we have reached Tasmania last time, we have broke like two biggest sails, Janaka sails, because of sudden wind bursts, wind blasts from the shore. The thing with Tasmania is that you cannot predict most of the wind conditions because it's in the far end of Australia, facing straight the Southern Ocean, and also the land masses of Tasmania is very difficult, and you can have the wind bursts everywhere. So that was the most scary moment, and the best moment, of course, was the finish line.
Can you tell us more about the team this year? Because it is not a small team, right? I mean, it's very much a collective effort.
Yes, it's a big boat and a big team. So the boat is like 70 feet. It's a pure ocean racer designed for the circumnavigation of the world in a regatta called the Ocean Race. And we are a team of 20 people, which 14 amateurs from Poland and 6 an international crew of professionals that I lead. My position is to just glue two worlds, the professional sailors and amateurs together. Among these amateurs, we have people quite experienced. I have 6 amateurs, our club members, that completed already other 600 events in Caribbean, in the UK, and in the Mediterranean. So they are quite experienced. But it's always a new effort, and it's a project completely out of the box.
Now, about the ship itself, again, not the first time that it is facing such trials. Can you tell us more about how it was designed? What are the principles there? Is it the case that engineering also plays a significant part in these races?
Of course, yachting, sailing, and especially ocean sailing is a very technical sport, and the boat itself herself is a beast. It can reach up to 40 knots of speeds, operating by a professional team. For us, I think it will be like lower 30 knots maximum. But already 20 knots on such a boat, it's like when you are sitting in a house that is collapsing, down to the valley. It's absolutely stunning. The boat weighs around 17 tons. The mast has like 12 stories building, and everything is powered by our human energy. There is also a big canting keel at the bottom of the boat that provides more righting moments. That means more speed. So it's a truly ocean racing beast and things can go wrong easily on the boat. So we have to be very, very careful.
And I'm assuming that all of these boats are designed, if not according to a similar template, then at least to a set of rules, right? Has there ever been a case of someone trying to introduce any sort of innovations that were actually ruled, inapplicable or even illegal because it would have made for too much of an advantage from a, engineering side of things?
Yeah, there are different rules in yachting. In some of them, you are just stick to the rule. It's a box rule, and you cannot do anything. And some of the formulas are very much open for the invention of designers and specialists from materials and so on. Since this is a very high technology sport and a lot of money is inside of such a boat design and boat build, we see really, especially now in the world, fantastic innovations like foiling, so we get out of the whole structure of the boat from the water and we can reach easily twice time the speeds. Just amazing, and stiff sails instead of flexible sails. A lot of money in this industry, and the innovation are really wide open.
You've mentioned about the team that the majority are not, in fact, professionals in this field. Is it actually a rule in this competition that you need to have a proportion of people who are strictly, professionals, registered, and basically that being like their main occupation, and the rest of the team being people who are just, passionate about this, may have experience, but are not within the same category, so to say?
Yes, in other regattas around the world, there is no such a rule, but in this particular, in the Sydney Hobart, there is a rule that at least 1/4 of the team has to be fully professional. Maybe because of the conditions that we face on our way. So, in general, all the requirements from the organizers to start on the line on this race are just amazing. We are preparing for this race. The last stage was nearly a year. So all the requirements regarding the team and the boats. It's a great effort. That's why you don't do it every year.
And having mentioned, the types of challenges that you face and the unpredictability, what would you say perhaps is the more general thing you can learn from embarking upon a project, upon a challenge like this? Would you say that it does actually teach you, respect for nature? Because despite all the technological advancements, at the end, it is just man versus nature, and the power thereof, the power inherent in the ever-changing seas.
Of course, respect to the sea. It's a rule number one, and I have it in my blood because my father has circumnavigated the world in '73 in the first ever regatta around the world, and I have been taught this since I was a kid. And I teach this to our amateurs on board, that respect to the sea and just be prepared to anything what can happen. Also respect to the boat and take care of the boat very carefully. And also regarding team building on the boat, just to be on the safe side and to treat each other well and to have a lot of humor around, especially in bad moments.
Przemysław Tarnacki was our guest today here on TVP World. Thank you for joining us, and of course, the best of luck to you and the rest of the team tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Just keep finger crossed for some good wind from the back for us. Thank you.
And I'm Jonasz Rawiński. You're watching TVP World. Please stay with us for more latest news, updates and commentary.